This is day 1427, the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Today we're doing Your Dea, Siman Reish Samach Zayin, Sif Yud Zayin to Chav Beis. It is the first day of Chol Moed Sukkos in Chutz La'aretz, and there's the war we should start to see. Nisan Nigolim Nisan Nisim Nigoyel Yud Zayin. Amen be Avamas. Chalokech Evim Yakudi somebody buys a slave from a non-Jew. And the Eved jumped at this table with the purpose of becoming a one non-Jew does not own the body of another non-Jew, only for the purpose of malacha. He only can sell to the Jew whatever he owns. So the Israel only has on the slave, as a result of purchasing the individual from the other non-Jewish individual, only monetary lien. Therefore, the tables a person becoming free. To enter Kedusha, Hekdesh Mafkia Midei Shibun. Sheish Yisrael of the Hekdesh is which is Hekdesh of Kedusha, sea soil, nullifies the lien which the Jew has upon it. Therefore, Odon has to be careful. He wants to actually have an Evid. See, the Evid tells himself for the purpose of Avdus. It's best for him to put some work upon him when he's in the water. That his servitude should be evident. So you shouldn't take the initiative and say I'm tabling for the purpose of being free. It's El Gemara says it's talk for a mind, you have to seize him in the water. But it's tries to talk about the of Om you have to put upon him the yoke of work in the water. That it looked like he's tabling for the purpose of slavery. So in that case, even he says it's for the purpose of being free. Lo kana atzmo, he does not acquire himself. There's no substance to his words. Because the words contradict the action contradicts his words. They both be so they not distinguish whether he tevel in front of his master or not in front of his master. But the Rambam holds that if he was tevel in front of his master, even if he was tevel without any statement, it's for the purpose of being free. And when he came out Hashem Avdus in the temple, he's doing it for the purpose of Avdus. So even if it's not in front of his master, it's Dam Havel Avdus. Sounds counterintuitive, but the default assumption is that it's for the purpose of slavery. Okay, I'm not ashamed unless he says I do it for the purpose of being free. She can custom before his parent you can read be up. So Barak has a volume behind shop. When they seize him in the water, it doesn't matter what he says. That's right there. Old Ger, furthermore, Ger Shkon Ma'avodim, she places the trouble out on the front of, that they were table themselves in front of him. Kanu Atzman B'nei Chorin, they acquire themselves as free. There's a story in the Gemara with the case of Bluria. Shekadmu Avodeha, that her slaves went on their own initiative, they told in front of her. They acquire themselves as free. Beisham Fanea Kmo Bifanea, in front of her means in front of her. Rashbi Yisham Lefanea, no, not in front of her, but before her. The claim she's got before she converted Aisham. Bishnai Kutis, since she was still not Jewish, she had acquired her slaves in her slaves' bodies. Therefore, whatever monetary obligation she had was annulled. New test. Also writes there, a Jew who seized a a non-Jewish minor, Matzatina Kuti, or found a non-Jewish child. If he appealed Hashem ger, and he told him the purpose of ger, Harei Zager, that he is a ger. Hashem Evid, for the purpose of this, Harei Zavid, he's an Evid. Hashem Mechorin, for the being free, Harei Zaben then he is free. Akal Shono. Well, that Makora, the source of this Rambam is not known. Kesem Shkosim after the Parakam Ksubas, he says it's the concept of the story of Gerkot in the first part of Ksubas, that we have to Matbil and Kotan of the house basin where we travel a child on the intent of the basin. You can't say this. That the Dins of Kosta Parakam is very better. The Rambam writes this elsewhere. The Glosha Shas according to the way the Shas explains it. And the bracket says Gam Belechem Mishnah Dochot, and Lechem Mishnah rejects the Kesem Mishnah as well. Vod Echel Ikov Baal Korcho. Also, how can you seize the child against his will? Ksubas Perushok Sheima of Yaso. Ksubas, it's a case where his mother brought him. Compare Rashi Sham. Ani Musupak in Ba HaKatan Batzmel Vacation Shamelo. And I'm not sure, it says the Arukh HaShulchan, if a child comes and asks to convert, if we listen to him. Yes, and they ain't Shamelo. More likely we don't listen to him. Came Shamelo Das because he has no intent. So even an adult who comes to ask to convert, with great difficulty we accept him. But we say, why do you want to convert? We'll see in the next simon. Obviously, you don't see something against their will. Also, the will of a child is not a will at all. In fact, this halacha of seizing a child to make an evet is not found to a shulchan. Besides, it's not clear. What does it mean for the purpose of being free? He's not a slave. He's a non-Jew. He's Hashem ger. It was mine. He was already said talking about being matpilim for the purpose of ger. Very difficult. The bracket says, that which we said that we don't listen to a child when it comes to us, but says we turn to when down and have dear massacres the hefech. Shabbat the vacation that we do listen to a child's request in the dire. And Shab, in the seven rounds, you've got the parakam and Sham. Okay, let's be finished. Page near you start to be a chelo makadiv a kesem mishnah koruk subsham. We have to say the kesem mishnah says the Arukh HaShulchan that the source in subas. Kamadinim kasu Rambam. Kam perkidim usubia. Some halachas Rambam replicates both here and in Chasubia perkigimah and Sham. As you can't kasu lashon achad chadish davar. Here we're a different language in order to tell us a new concept, which is Shazel Boritz Klish Ram Farish Hach the Ksubas and Adbin so that's basin Loba Boy Mimo. Ram explains in that case where we travel him on the intent of basin, it's how many comes his mother, compares Rashi, we Maviv or with his father, if he gets the Shashab like the Shas initially understood and then rejected. El Bebal Vakish is when it comes on his own to request. Shari Eno Maskir Zek Klab B'Sham. Doesn't mention all parents there. The Katesis of Iran, he also says the Ran Shevenu, who cited, Shabbat Miatza Vakishim Karmino. So when he comes on his own to ask, we're Makariv him. Bavsha Daito and Akum, even though his intent is nothing, come nevertheless came from Masham, Dikshitil Cholim Nachsober says, when they go up, they can renege. Favia Ram and these are Perkim Milachim, Ram brings this down, and Shaman can have there's no problem in converting him. If he reaches adulthood, he wants to renege, Zer is Shagmar Dachi, the Seattle Shevi Shah, but Aviv, I Sham now which one rejects the assumption that he came with his father. Seram the Zel Dichi Ba'amal. The Ram tells that rejection is just a generic rejection, not meant to actually change the halach. Shane Rayam, he said. The fact that the Shas rejects that is not evidence. The Kederach Shas comes like the Shas says in many places. Frayish Gamarifa Rambam, the Gamarifa Yavam is Perik Dal, Shibi Hadra, so that's basically what he's curious that Marif does brings down the mother or father issue. Chava, with Zeba Ram Chadish Mized Dinacher. So the Ram never comes to learn new halachim. This. He said about it, Shabesim Mapilon, so when Basin tables him, ain't looking with kifos. We don't take him with force. Actually, Mitzvah from Natsu Bakish, whether when he comes to it on his own and asks for it. Moshkasabna. Happy Shadaito Eno Klum, even though his intent is nothing. He come nevertheless came a shik sheidil. Yachlim Chos, since when he goes over, he can protest. Eno Makrim was over Rakapelian. Zema Rama, so therefore the Rama says, the Mafil Yira. Sheachat Takfala Katan Mitzov, Bilabal Karchosh, Lobe. If it happened that somebody seized him or found it and teveled him against his will, non basin, that basin lawyer, Medichim Asoscape, basin not allowed this. Ela shetavlu b'shlosha yotis. He just wanted to make fun of three common people. Which is the Rambam Shad. We have a gam yotis sagi and Shad. The Rambam wrote that common people are okay with the Evid by Gerus. Because they have a ogero Evid or meshuchar k'vishin biloso. He is still a convert or a slave or a released slave, as they tell him. The time of the came the gam das katan gam keinu klum. And the reason since the katan's das also is nothing. El cheni to the base on the table, but the reason they base the table, they show last book she yagdal, because when he goes up, the chen gam she the other also in his gankin. So something would happen that common people did this by compelling the child also. Actually, he can tavlu. So he goes up, it'll be as the tavlu. What are we going to lose? But I'm going to lose it, and he goes up, he'll be okay with it. Shari Ikar Tam Gemara, who came to Katan. The main reason the Gemara that we're not going to accept his conversion now is because since he's a young, the time the surah, and he hasn't. The reason why we accept him, we accept him temporarily because he's young and hasn't been time the Yisur. He doesn't know what it is to do Yisur. School, it's a matter for him to convert. Ayin Sham. So if it's a merit, what difference does it make if they did it with his will or compelling him? Look, I'm even his will is like being compelled because he's a cotton, he's a mishas. Like it said in the Gemara, Peter Ketana, if he seduced a minor girl, it's rape. But since he can renege anyway, lo chashishul is not concerned. Came Irish of honest Lasso Kane, so what happened? They compelled the child to do this. Nisha ain't Lasso Kane, truly not supposed to do it. They can't come, never let him. Asu. They did it, they did it. Shake down, yes, Akidato grows up, he'll do whatever he wants. Says Chazal Shem Ben Chayr, that which it says the purpose of Ben Chayr. I already said what I about Ger, so it wasn't Shem Karen Ben Chayrin. Kamnaso Acher, he means sorry. Kamnaso Rasha Tivlu, the Shem Abdus. He means after the table for the purpose of Abdus, these same people that Yoitas on their own intent, they tell him to be free. Like it says Kenan Zaiti. The Bchada Bchonyan Zesh, these called Tefillah who are in Mila. Bored my dear. This is also assuming the same thing is occurring by Mila, not just by Tefillah alone. Chabez, Vizesh is by that which you can clarify. That if you buy a slave from a non-Jew and he titles himself for the purpose of the Shem of being a free person, that's when he becomes free. He's got to reimburse the buyer for the money he paid for him to the non-Jew. It's no worse than damaging an obligation of his friend. You have to pay for that. Only here where he gains, if he becomes a free Jew, he has to pay. Also came, so if others did it, behind the basin, basin title, this guy's having for the purpose of being free. Or other people did this, the other Shazo Abdo, I knew if this guy was an Eved, Chayim, the Shad have to pay. And but they themselves didn't tell him, El Shisiu Eitzah. However, they gave counsel to the servant, to the slave. Lassos came to this, but they're exempt. Fairly, the Eved Yocholik Vos, the seems to that you can be paid from the slave. Also came, so the others didn't. And the buyer gets reimbursed from them. They themselves turn around and inquire from the Eved the money. It's no worse than doing a favor for your friend. If you ask and you get a loss, days that through this favor. The friend has to pay to the extent that you received the favor. It's billable, which costs them to show receiving raised time about it. Ayin Sham, Dati Lamis kills a Gam Rabbain, is there Rabbain Ramah Masiftas? I don't understand why it's Ramah doesn't mention it. The potter, it's not like if I go shoo a line away from probably your exam, sure, also Mamish, they did for him, in fact, a significant favor. I believe that brings us to the end for today. Just rechecking that. Yes.